True story. I spent the last 9 minutes scouring my apartment for a paper bag to put over my head. And I thought maybe I could do a plastic one, but then, that's kind of dangerous, and I don't condone doing dumb things. Although we do the dumbest thing every week. Continue to tune in and watch the Raiders play. 31-0. You know the score. I was trying to figure out what angle to take here. I play a lot of Call of Duty. What angle do I want to take here? And I had the thought when Max Crosby got hurt, right? Well, you're down your 3 best players in Myers, Browers, and Miller, and then you lose your best player. So now you're down your 4 best players. And the Kansas City Chiefs just pretty much manhandled the Lions. So what are you supposed to think, And 31-0 is not a great score. But we're not a good football team. We're playing a really good football team. But then you start to hear the statistics. 90 yards of offense. 3 first downs. What is it? I got it written down here. 29 total plays. And then I thought to myself, the San Francisco 49ers, with Mac Jones and firefighters and plumbers on his team, went into Los Angeles and beat one of the best teams in the NFC, the Los Angeles Rams. So the angle I'm going to choose to take here is that was a disgusting, gutless effort by a horrific football team. And from here on out, I'm going to expect nothing but disgusting, horrific efforts from this football team until further notice. And that goes into next year and beyond. And it doesn't matter if you get rid of all the coaches or the players. It does not matter. The excitement for this team is gone. And then I started taking a bunch of notes, and I'm just going to go down the line here and read them all. The first thing I wrote is, not that this matters, right? But Patrick Graham is a good coordinator. He really is. And on that same side of the coin, he does some really stupid shit. Cover 0 from the 8-yard line against the Chiefs is wild. How do you run your death by 1,000 cuts defense, Patrick Graham? Drop everybody. Tony Romo said that. It was like 4th and 2, and he was like, these safeties are 30 yards deep on 4th and 2. Everybody knew what defense you were going to run, PG, and you just ran it, and you let them go up and down the field. I get it. Nothing matters because they have way better players than us, but you didn't even try. No spy on Patrick Mahomes on multiple 3rd and mediums. Go ahead, Patrick. Just take it. Because we shouldn't be in this game. We don't deserve to be here, so let's just give it to you. You know what that makes me feel like? I'm just reading through my notes. It makes me feel like the team went into the game with a, well, what do you expect attitude. Well, what are we supposed to do? We're down our 3 guys. What are we supposed to do? We're just going to play our soft zone and hope the ball bounces our way. And by the way, the ball did not bounce our way. Patrick Mahomes threw like 3 interceptable balls. Xavier Worthy fumbled the ball right into another Chief's arms, or maybe it was Hollywood Brown fumbled into Xavier Worthy's arms. I've never seen that many balls bounce a specific way, but it didn't matter. The attitude of this team was a team that felt like they had no chance, so what's the point? We didn't feel that way because we still watched. Of course, there's people that are going to complain and whine while they're watching it, and you are totally within your right to do that. But we all watched because deep down we were like, any given Sunday, not this Sunday. We had our 4 worst players out. I'm just going down the line here. Jonah Lalau might be good. Like, he might actually be good. It might just be better than a good story, which is nice. I made a video this morning about how we might be buyers at the trade deadline. Nope. Definitely should just get rid of Jacoby Myers. What's the point? Jackson Powers-Johnson. I wrote, and I quote here, JPJ is not Quentin Nelson. Doesn't matter how much you guys want him to be that. They put JPJ on an island with Chris Jones. Let's see what he could do. Worked, rocked, and socked the whole game. He's a young player, and he's a very good young player. And I expect him to be on this team for a long time and to be a really good guard in this league. But every time a mistake was made by every other lineman but JPJ, I heard about it in the comments. And this is not an anti-JPJ thing. This is a keep everyone accountable game. When you play bad, I'm going to say it. JPJ, today you stunk. Was he going against a Hall of Famer? Sure. But people talked about him like he was a Hall of Famer. That didn't look like a top 10 lineman to me. Sorry. And then, 3 first downs heading into the fourth quarter. 29 total plays. Under 100 yards of offense. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. I mean, Gino, you know, I don't know. Like, who is to blame for this? Circumstances? A higher power? I don't know what to do. Let me tell you about Chomps. I do want to take a second here to talk about Chomps. I've had this behind me, and I've talked about it for a few weeks. If you don't know what it is a beef stick. They come in all sorts of different flavors. This one is smoky barbecue seasoned beef stick. It's got a little bit of heat, as you can see right here. It has 10 grams of protein, 100 calories, and 0 sugar, and that is per serving. And I've talked about in videos past my love for this product because it's a quick snack that you can grab that makes no mess, that's a high source of protein that you could use while you're, playing a basketball game or in the middle of a recorded video and you don't want to stop and go through the hassle of making a big snack. And sometimes the quicker the snack is, the less quality it is. But this thing right here, and this is on the back of the box I've never read, no trade-offs. This is kind of one of the selling points of Chomps beef sticks. It's made with grass-fed and grass-finished beef raised without antibiotics or added hormones. Incredibly tasty, ultimate convenience, made without wheat, nuts, soy, and milk, and no nitrates or nitrates added. If you're looking for the ultimate source of protein that's quick but also worth putting in your body, you cannot go wrong with Chomps. Before every season, every team acts as though they believe they can win games. Like, even the Jets, like Aaron Glenn was like, we're going to try to win games. But people were like, what are you supposed to say, right? Now, Pete Carroll and John Spytek not only said, we want to win games, but they made moves to put themselves in the position to win games, to try to have that Tampa Bay Bucks type season with Baker that first year where they won like 9-ish games and made the playoffs. That didn't work. I'm not asking for anybody to be fired. I don't think the coaching staff should be fired. I don't think John Spytek should be fired. In fact, I actually think Spytek did a pretty decent job of finding people just as good as like Spillane to like fill in for that and not pay as much money. Like, I do think Jeremy Chin has been as good as Trayvon Merrick, and I do think Devin White has been as good as Spillane, and you got to give him credit for that. And it's not fair that Christian Wilkins did whatever he did that got himself cut, because he should have been on the field, and that would have been a big help to Max Crosby. But this Geno Smith thing did not work, and it blew up in everybody's face. And you got to pivot. You could play him for the rest of the year, and then, everyone's screaming for Kenny Pickett. What happened? He got in and immediately fumbled a snap. It's not going to be any better with Kenny Pickett. The only chance you have, and I know people don't want to hear this, of a quarterback that looks better than what we have right now is Aiden O'Connell. Just because Aiden is the most accurate passer of the three of them. He would not have 10 interceptions through whatever how many games. He just wouldn't. Nobody believes that Aiden would be this bad. And then you have to figure out a way to get your franchise quarterback in this building next year. You got to find a way. The Band-Aids are done. I'm done with the Band-Aids. We go into the bye week. You got to get healthy. Brock Bowers is going to come back. I don't know about Cole Miller. I don't know what's going on with Max Crosby. They probably just took him out because the game was already over at that point. But you're now 2-5. And then I think we play what? Jacksonville? What's the next few games here? Raiders schedule. Jacksonville, Denver, Dallas, Cleveland. Yeah, we're done. There's no point looking ahead to the schedule. We're done. So, 31-0. And that was actually closer than what the final score should have been. Gardner Minshew got in the game through the third quarter. I don't know what else to say. Drop likes, comments. Shout out to my patrons. Discord, link in the description below. Peace.